Okay, fine. So what we discussed yesterday, operators, right? Operators completed and we started conditional statement also, right? Okay. So in that we have discussed about if and else. So we are going to continue from the same. Conditional statements in JavaScript. So what we discussed in conditional statement, that there are some of the statements that we want to execute on the basis of a condition. If the condition is true, means if the condition is satisfied, then it will work, or else it will not work. So that entire game is of if and else. So here we are seeing one thing like this. If we are writing if condition, if, then there will be a condition inside the if, and then you will write else. In else we do not check any condition. The reason is, if is not working, then else will 110% work. If is working, then else will not work. So it's like so simple. Yesterday we have seen one more thing, something like this. The if generally checks for true or false. It is independent of any other thing. Now what does it mean? It means that we can write true, we can directly write true in place of a condition, and if is will work. That we have seen yesterday, that if generally checks true or false, it has nothing to do with condition. It does not depend on anything else. It is just simple. If it is getting true, it will run. If it is not getting true, then it will not run. That is so simple. Here if I am writing if 1 is equal to 1, and inside that I will print console.log, you can cast the vote. You can cast the vote, but here age is 16. And in the else I will write you cannot cast the vote. Simple. Now, if will be checking the true or false, age is 16, means we should get this output, but we will not get. The reason is, if we will check its condition for true or false, it has nothing to do with any other thing. This is a age related program, but doesn't work. The reason is 1 is equal to 1, true or false, it will work. True. If I am writing true, directly if I am writing true inside the if statement, output again same, you can cast the vote. If I am writing not false, what is not false? If I am writing not and false, what is that? It does not depend on anything else. It mainly checks for true or false. Here, if I'm writing something like this, then you can cast the vote. Yesterday only I told non-empty string in JavaScript are considered as true. What is non-empty string? Which has some value. Now, if I am writing let str equals to shivam, and if I am passing if str, the value of str is a string, true. If this str has null value, null we discussed as a data type. What is the data type of null? Now this is a empty string. Null means empty. Here, if I'm writing let str equals to null, then it is empty. Now we are if will not work because empty string will return false. If it is returning false, else will work like this. You cannot cast the vote. So the entire game is of true and false here. Conditions nothing. Right? Got it? Very good. How to check leap year, by the way? How to check leap year? Divide by 4 and it should be leap year, right? Okay. Let year equals to 2025. Any year we can take, right? If now listen here, logic building is very easy. Give yourself a writing. I will tell you a word. Okay. There is a country in Asian continent. That country is very big in size, right? That country has 5-letter name. There are 2 letters which are repeating in the country name. The country is like very big, very vast, and like very rich also. Confused? Everything got clear when you are writing. Everything will be getting cleared whenever you are writing down. There is a 20% more chance that you will solve your problem if you are writing it. What is the question? Write it on a notepad, on a pen and paper, anywhere to check the leap year. Question. To check whether a given year is a leap year or not. For that, at first, you should have the knowledge of leap years. Generally, leap year are those who have 29 days in the February. That is a leap year. Means they are having 366 days. Yesterday, I told one thing. One of our prime minister is having birthday on 29th Feb. Who? Forgot? Okay, search today after class. Now, this is what you have to do. For that, there is a simple formula. If the year is divided by 4, then it's a leap year. Okay, very good. But how will you write its if condition? Here you can write if year divided by 4. Listen. Here in the if you will be writing if year divided by 4. No. I told you one operator. What was the work of this modulus operator? Remainder. Means if you are writing it, it will return the remainder. Right? It will return the remainder. It means that if I am writing 10 modulo 2. What is the answer? 0. It means that it is completely divisible. Got it? Means if you are giving year modulo 4 and it is returning the remainder as 0, then it's a leap year, right? So here, if we are writing if year modulo 4 equals to 0, means if I divide year by 4 and it gave the remainder as 0, it will give the answer as leap year or else non-leap year. Right? Non-leap year. Run. Non-leap year. Let's check for 2026. Non-leap. Who said leap year? 2026 is leap year. Let's check for 2027. Non-leap year. 2028. Leap year. By the way, if the last two digits are divisible by 4, that is a leap year. Short trick. 28 is divisible by 4, leap year. 26 is not divisible by 4, non-leap year. Right? Correct? Incorrect. This is completely incorrect thing. Let's say if we are writing 1900, if we are writing 1900, leap year, but 1900 was not a leap year. It was not a leap year. Let's try to check if we are getting the calendar of 1900. How many days we have in February? 28. Means the logic that you are learning till now is half logic. What is the correct logic which is complete? Yes. If it is a century year, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 9, 10, 11, 12, like that, same way. Then you should not check it with 4. You should check it with 400. But again, second logic, how we will do? That we will discuss in the next term. Okay? So hold this leap year program for a minute because this is the next topic. Okay, so that is your if and else. If and else. Then next is if, else if. You know, most of you are coming from your school and colleges. There we have the grade system or the percentage system, which looks something like this. If your percentage is between 91 to 100, you are from the A grade. If you are ranging in 81 to 90, then you are in the B grade. Then if you are in 71 to 80, so something like that, we have grades, right? In the case of casting the vote, there was only two options. Either you can cast the vote or you cannot cast the vote. But here, if you are checking the percentage of any student, there can be multiple option: A grade, B grade, C grade, D, E, and my kind of thing. Then fail. Here you have 6 options that you can get. How many? 6. For a moment, let's say you are trying to create a program like this. Let marks equals to 94. Simple thing, you can get 94 marks in subject. Now we will check one if condition. like this. If marks are greater than 91, if marks are greater than 91, in that way, what you have to print? A grade. In else, I will print fail. Right? In else, we will print fail. If we are running the code, we got A grade. But if we are having 84 marks, then you are fail. The reason is you are handling only two kind of outputs, either A grade or either fail. Rest of all the middle outputs you are not at all handling. So that's why we have the third thing. If, else if. If, else if. There are some conditions where we can expect more than two outputs. More than two outputs. If we are getting exactly two output, one in the if, one in the else. But if we are expecting more than two outputs, for an example, if a user is giving us a value between 1 to 7, between 1 to 7, and we have to return the corresponding day name. If user is giving 1, then we have to return what? Sunday, Monday. Sunday, Monday. The first day of week is the Monday, not Sunday. Sunday is last. If user is giving 2, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, in that same way Sunday. How many outputs are possible here? 7 outputs. If user is giving some wrong information, let's say user is asking for 10, then wrong input. You can tell to the user, hey, stupid, write between 1 to 7. 8 outputs are possible. Here, a total of 8 outputs are possible. 8 outputs are possible, including one wrong input. If user is giving wrong input, that is also possible. We can handle more than 2 outputs with the help of if and else if. With the help of if and else. You know what is the dumbest way of doing this thing? I will tell you. Let day equals to 4. Now the dumbest way is write if day equals to 1. Console.log Monday. If day equals to 2, Tuesday. If day equals to 3, Wednesday. If day equals to 4, Thursday. Anyway, it will give the right answer to you. Right? In this way also, you will get the right answer. For 4, we got Thursday. For 1, we should expect Monday. For 2, we should be getting Tuesday. And if you are writing others, you will get others also. There is no problem in this, right? What is the problem? No problem. Then why we are not writing like this? Sorry. Loudly, I can't hear this mumbling. Time complexity, like how? Okay, we will discuss it. Wait, no worries. So we can handle these things by using if and else if. So how we will handle? At first we will write the first if condition, which will be followed by multiple if else, multiple else if, which is also called ladder if else if. You understand what is a ladder? A kind of home instrument to climb to the roof. That kind of thing is called ladder. Something like this. Like this. Right here you will be seeing one particular pole with adjacent to each other. Means one below other, like that. That is your ladder. So we can write the ladder else if for this. I will tell you why we don't write multiple if conditions there. So first ladder if else. Now if we have to solve the day kind of output. So here if we are writing let day equals to 4. In that way you check first condition, which is your console.log Monday. When if day is equals to 1. The second condition you can write by this also. If day equals to 2, console.log Tuesday. But we will suggest that no, don't write like this. Write here else if. What you write here? Else if. And other thing should be in the same way. Day equals to 3. It should be going towards Wednesday. Wednesday. If days equals to 4, Thursday. Rest half I will write here. If day equals to 5, Friday. Like today. Then Saturday. Then at last else. Or no. Here else if 7 Sunday, else wrong input. Now we are writing them in this particular way. Right? We are writing them in this particular way to handle the day's input. Let's first try by writing this. Then I will explain why we are not writing by multiple ifs. So at first I will convert them and you will get the same output. Output will not give you any problem. There is a space between else if day equals to 5 Friday. Else if day equals to 6 Saturday. Those who are talking, I will ask question to you only, guys. Then at last else console.log wrong input. Please give input between 1 to 7. Let's check. For 3 we are what we are expecting? Wednesday. We got Wednesday. keep 7 here. For 7, Sunday. For 6, Saturday. For 5, Friday. We got everything. Let's write a wrong input. 56. Wrong input. Please give input between 1 to 7. Here, why we are not writing multiple if? The reason is here. Why? Let's write it as a question. Why are we using if and else if when we can do the same thing by using multiple if? Why we are typing one extra word else? The reason is, if we are writing all the condition in if or conditions by using if, then the compiler will check all the conditions. Now, for an example, let's say you gave the input as 3. How compiler will do? Compiler will check if they are written with if. Consider that. If days equals to 1, compiler will say false. Go ahead. If day equals to 2, go ahead. If day equals to 3, yes, print Wednesday. If day equals to 4, go ahead. If day equals to 5, go ahead. Arey, you already got 3. Why are you checking next conditions? If is an independent statement. Yesterday I told it will be checked every time. Else and else if are dependent. If one of the condition got true, rest of all the condition will not be checked. And if you are writing multiple if, your program will become slow. And if something is slow, we really hate it nowadays. That is the condition. If we are writing all the condition by using if, then the compiler will check all the condition as if is the independent statement. What is this? This is the independent statement. JavaScript is using compiler or interpreter translator. It is using the JIT compiler actually, just in time compiler, which is a mix of both compiler and interpreter. Compiler or interpreter, both I will write, don't worry. As if is the independent statement. If somewhere in between one condition got true, then also it will check all the conditions. You understood this or not? Yes. But if we are writing multiple conditions by using else if and the third condition got true, then after it will not check other conditions. Now let's say you are checking the grade of any student, and a student has got, let's say, 85 marks. So at first you will check for A grade, then on 85 you got B grade. Now is there any possibility that same student can got C grade also? No, not at all. 85 fixed means no need to check the below ones. That's why we write them by using else if. So there is a note. Else and else if are dependent conditions. We cannot write them without if. If you are directly writing else if, wrong. There should be one if at the top. Then else if, and last condition should be else. Now, why I am writing like this? If day is 1, Monday, else if Tuesday, else if Wednesday, else if Thursday, else if Friday, else if Saturday. If these 7 condition got false, it means user has given some wrong input. Fixed or not? If the top 7 condition including Sunday has got false, it means user has given some wrong condition. So no need to check it here else if. This is directly else. Else. Wrong input, please give input between 1 to 7. That is your if, else, if. Understood it? Understood or not? Yes. Completely. Okay. So that is your if and else if. It works exactly like multiple if by saving the time complexity that you can say. Now let's come back to the leap year problem, right? Let's first come back to the leap year problem now. This is your leap year problem. Now let's say we are in which century right now? 90th or 20th century? 20th century. 21st. This time we are not trusting my options. The next century that will come is 2100. Most of us will not be there at that time, right? Is this a leap year or not? No. This is divisible by 4. This is also not leap year. This is also not a leap year. "28 days." But it is divisible by 4. So there is a added logic in the years. That logic is at first you have to check let year equals to 2100. At first you have to check that if this year is getting divisible by 100 or not. 100 means it has 20 in the end, means it's a century year. So if the year is divisible by 100, then you have to check it with 400. So inside if we will write one more if. Here we will check year year mod 400 equals to 0. At first you check if it is divisible by 100 or not. So let's say we will write the code here. Now this is the full logic for this. At first you have to check if year mod this modulo operator 100 equals to 0. Then you just print it's a century year. Console.log it's a century year. Else it's not a century year, right? Else console.log it's not a century year. Is it clear till now? We are just checking if it is a century year or not. So yes, 2100 is a century year. 2101, it's not a century year. Simple. Now, if it is a century year, then again you have to check. For a century year, you will divide it by 400 instead of 4. If year mod 400 equals to 0, in that case, it is a leap year. It is a leap year, right? If it is not divisible by 400, then else console.log not a leap year. So inside if there is one more if, then else. Now come back to else. This is the case when the century year. Now if it's not a century year, then you just check the year with 4. Year mod 4 equals to 0. Then print it's a leap year. Console.log leap year or else not a leap year. Now this is the complete code of a leap year without any error. Let's check. 2101 not a leap year. 2100 not a leap year. 2000 2000 leap year. 1900 not a leap year. Now this code will work perfectly fine for all kind of years. Right? 1800 leap year or not? No, 1800 is not a leap year. Got it? Got it or not? You know, there was I will tell you one thing. 1996 leap year or not? 1996 leap year or not? You know, the person who got their birthday at 29th Feb in 1996. Now, see, 1997, will they have their birthday? Not a leap year. 1998, sorry, 1896. 1898, no. 1899, no. 1900, no. 1901, no birthday again. 1902, 1903, 1904. So after these many years, 2, 4, 6, after 8 years, they got their birthday. So lucky are those who got birthday on 28th Feb. Otherwise, if 29th means 8-year gap straight, right? Like this. One normal question. Why after every 4 year, one day is extra in February? Who is deciding this? Earth is deciding. How? What did you say? We have 365 days. Yes. How? How? Okay. One day consists of 24 hours, right? What does mean by one day? One day means Earth will rotate on its axis in 24 hours. One complete rotation, right? In 24 hours. That is not exactly 24 hours. It is 23 hours, 56 minutes and 4 seconds instead of every 24 hours. So technically we are saving 3 minutes and 56 seconds or 55 seconds in that way. So in every day there is a extra of 3 minute and 55 second in every day. Now this small minutes will count to 3 years and fourth year it will become one complete day. That's why every 4 year we have one extra day. In how many days Earth rotates revolve around the sun? 365 days, right? Like that. So that is the reason behind it. Now, this particular condition that just now we have written if inside if, then else inside if else, multiple if else, nested. You know, understand the nest, bird's nest, how the birds will insert the sticks inside each other. Same way, we have the nested if else. That is your nested if else. Nested if else if. Whenever we have to check conditions, whenever we have to check conditions and sub conditions, means there is one condition, inside that also there are other conditions. So whenever we have to check condition and sub conditions, then we have to use nested if else. Then what we have to use? Nested if else. Nested if else means writing the if and else inside other if else. For an example, checking the leap year. Checking the leap year required the use of nested if else. Why it required? Because at first you will check if it's a century year. If it's a century year, then next rule is by 400. If it is not a century year, then by 4. So there are condition and their sub condition. Now this is one example. I will give one more example for its nested if else. Don't worry. This is the code for nested if else. In that way, we have to write. Okay. I will just highlight this. Code for leap year. Understood the nested if else? Understood? Who understood? Please raise your hand. Understood? Come here then. Come fast. I am writing a condition and you write the code for it. Okay. I will help means come. Just now you understood, right? How online people can write okay for this. Come means you can come, can't come here. Okay. The condition is you are asking your parents for a outing permission. Now parents will keep condition, condition and sub conditions. The first condition will come. When will you come back? When will you come back? If the answer is before 11, you can go. Otherwise, no need to go. If you pass the first condition, when will you come back? Let's say you said, okay, before 11, I will come. They will ask the next condition. Will you drink? If your answer goes as yes, no need to go. Come back. Their favorite answer is no, I will not. For boys and for girls, it will be reversible. If a boy is asking, will girls be there in the party? If your answer is yes, then no need to go. If your answer is no, then you can go. So for taking permission from them, these are the condition and their sub condition that you need to pass. Now we have to write a code for it. Who will write? Nested if else we will use here. Means I will help you, just write the code. Sadik, come. So in the first way, you have to define all the three things. First thing is time. At what time you will come back? So write let time equals to a favorable time. Let time equals to time. Let time equals to write let's say 10. At first we will create all the favorite condition of parents. Okay, 10. Only 10. Yes. Next line. Let drinking equals to no. And no is a string, by the way. No is a string. No is not a number. So write it as a string. Let drinking equals to no. Yes. Third is let. Now what we can write here? Any other condition? It will not be good to write girls and boys here. Okay, you write OP underscore gender. Means opposite gender. Simple. OP underscore gender. This is a variable name. Gender equals to. Again, you can give yes or no, or true false you can give, or yes no, whatever you want. No. Okay, give no. Yes. Now come back. At first, you check the first condition. If time is less than or equals to 10, this is the first condition. Keep the brackets of this. Now, listen. The first condition they will ask you like this. If you are coming back before 10, then you can go. If you are not satisfying the first condition, then their else is ready. In this print, no need to go. Console.log, no need to go. String, sir, string. No need to go is a string. Okay. Now, for the first condition, when time is less than 10, you check one more condition. Second sub condition, if. Yes. Drinking equals to no. Now, drinking is a string value. So you check the string only. Drinking equals to string of no. Now, in this way, if you are saying drinking is no, then you can go. But if you said yes, the else of this if is ready. No need to go. The else of that if is ready. No need to go. Now, after asking about drinking, they will ask about the opposite gender. So check if whatever the variable name is and create the condition. Yes, create the block of this if. Block means curly brackets in JavaScript. Now, first condition time, second drinking, third gender. If three are passed, then you will get one yes. Console.log, you can go. Console spelling is wrong. Yes, you can go. Yes, you can go. You. and there will be one else condition for this if also. You can't go. Means if you are saying that yes, opposite gender is also present, this is a favorable condition that you can write. Just press Control V. They already copied na. Press Control V. You cannot. No, no need to go. Hey, your ears are closed today. Sadik, you can't. You can go. Okay, run the code. First check all the three condition. All the three condition are favorite condition. Check. Check the output. Run. Yes, you can go. Now change any one output. Let's say change the time to 12, that you will come back by 12. No need to go. Now keep the time as 11 and keep the drinking as yes. No need to go. Go back to the code. Keep the drinking as no and keep the opposite gender as yes. No need to go. Simple. Go. You can go. So these are the use of nested if else, where you will have condition and sub conditions. Got it? Understood the nested if else? Understood? Any doubt in this? If you have any doubt, you can ask about nested if else. When nested if else is used? Whenever we are having condition and sub condition. Yes, Vikas, what is your doubt? Sub if else work. What does it mean? Those who are joining online, am I audible and my screen is visible now? We just had an internet issue. Okay, fine. Okay, so that is your nested if else, where you will be having conditions and their sub conditions, right? Where you will be having condition and sub condition. One condition, second condition, third condition. Then we can write any number of if else, 10, 20 if else inside each other. Doesn't matter. Okay. Next is your ternary operator. In the conditional statement, next is your ternary operator. All these four we completed. If and else if, nested if else, and ternary operator. This is actually a operator that we didn't discuss in operator because of if and else. In JS, can we take input from user? Not exactly. With the help of HTML, CSS, you can take. Or else JS will give you prompt. By using prompt, we can take input, but that is not a good technique. Even I will explain that. Don't worry. How to give runtime input in JS? No runtime input in JS as it's a scripting language. But anyways, I will discuss these things in HTML, CSS. Don't worry. So next is your ternary operator. So let's first understand what is a ternary operator. Ternary operator. It is written with the help of question mark. This ternary operator is the shorthand format. What is this? It is the shorthand format for for single if else. If there is only one if and else, then you can use the ternary operator instead of if and else. However, there is an important point in ternary operator. And what is that important? That is, it returns the value. Because it's an operator, it will return an answer for you. If I am writing 2 plus 3, so plus is operator. Now it will return the answer 5. If I am writing 10 modulo 7, it will return answer as 3. So here, as this ternary is an operator, so it returns a value or answer. Now let's say if you are checking, let's take the case of voting. So here if I'm writing let age, let's say writing the example for this. For example, let age equals to 16. You will check if and else. If your age is greater than equals to 18, then you can write console.log can cast the vote. Else cannot cast the vote. That is the case. So whenever you are having only one if and one else, you can use the ternary operator. But how? It returns a value. So what it will return? I will write now. Syntax of ternary operator. That how we will be writing the ternary operator. That is syntax. At first, you have to write a variable name. Let variable equals to. Here you have to write your condition. Here you have to write your condition. Then you have to write question mark. Answer when the condition is true. Condition is true, colon, answer when the condition is false. Now what we will do, let age equals to 16. So here I will say let answer equals to, write the condition. Condition is age should be greater than or equals to 18. Write question mark here. If it is true, the answer will be can cast vote. Colon, if this condition is false, cannot cast the vote. But it is returning the value, it will not print the value. So you have to print the answer now. Console.log answer. Because one value will be going inside the answer variable depending upon this condition. If condition is true, then this will go first value. If condition is false, then second value will go. Now this is the very short program for voting checking. Cannot cast the vote as age is 16. If I am writing the age as 26, can cast vote. So this is the substitute of if else. One if else. Got it? Got it or not? Sure? Who got it? Raise your hand. This time I will not call. I am just casually asking. So here question mark. Then if this condition is true, the first value will go inside the answer variable. If the condition is false, then the second value will go inside the answer. Got it? Got it? Very good. Sorry. This is the substitute of if and else, where you can get only two answers. This is the substitute of if and else, single if else, where you can have a maximum of only two answers. Okay. This is the ternary of, because here we are writing that it is the shorthand format for single if else. You will get only two answers. One question to all of you. You have to write let A equals to one number value, let B equals to some number value, let C equals to some number value. Now you have to tell which one is the largest number of these three. You can use an in any way, if else if anyway. Who want to do this question? There are three numbers where you have to check which one is the largest number in all three. Yes, who wants to do? Got the question first? You have to check which one number is the largest. Okay, one thing that we missed actually. If we want to print something, let's say user is defining a number, let num equals to 34, and I am asking you to print it. So you will write console.log num and you will get 34 as the answer. But I want that you should get the output as the number is 34. Means string also and the variable also. So first you write the string. String means double quote. The number is space and write a plus icon here. Means adding the string and the number to print. So now you will get your output as this. The number is 34. After this, if you want to print one more string, then one more plus here, then type by string, and I am Shivam. Means any string like that, right? So you can print like this. The number is 34 and I am Shivam. Mixing the string with variable. Now, this is your question. Okay, let me help you. You have three numbers A, B, and C. First, you check if A is greater than B, but it should be greater than C also. Means both the conditions should be true. And mixing the properties inside if A is greater than B and A is also greater than C, in that way what you will print? A plus is the largest number. This is what you will print. At first number, then string. Now, if A is already largest, B or C will not be largest. Means no need to write one more if B is greater than A and B is also greater than C. In that way, console.log C is largest number. Now, if A is not largest, B is not largest, then who is largest? Do we need to check? Else. Console.log C is largest. Is it correct? No, it's not. We will check it. This time, what should be the output on these values? B is large, means 45 is largest number. We got 45 is largest number. Now our A will be largest. 134 is the largest number. We got. This time C will be the largest number. So 212 is the largest number. But who is largest now? So this logic is correct. There is no problem. But I always think a step ahead. In that way, 134 is the largest number. But it should say all numbers are equal. Right? For that, you have to attach one more condition here. It should be else if only that C is greater than A and C is also greater than B. Then one more else if condition. In that else if A is equals to B and B is equals to C. All are, don't write it like this. That is not supported. A equals to B and B equals to C. In that way, you will print all numbers are equal. Okay? All number are equal. So last logic was also correct. That was not a wrong logic, but curious mind, right? So you can write the mix condition as well. Okay? Got it? Got it or not? So now did you notice that parent and asking permission, we can write very easily without writing the multiple condition. That parent asking program we can write very easily. Like how? There will be one time. So what you check? You check like this. If time is less than or equals to 11 and drinking equals to no and opposite gender equals to no. If these three conditions are true, then only you can go, or else you cannot go. In 2 lines, finish. There is, writing code is like very easy. You can write it in 10 line also and 1 line also. The shorter your code is, the higher is the performance for developers, right? Like this. Now, this is the multiple conditions, right? Like this, simple. Now, last we have the switch statement. What exactly is a switch? In science, we draw switch icon something like this. Like this only, I think, right? In a closed circuit, this is a switch. Yes, this is only switch. So one switch means, let's say this is a switch of a television. It has only two values. Either television will be turned off or turned on. Can you hold this switch in between? I used to try this a lot. If I'm seeing a switch anywhere, means I will try to hold it in between. Then I will get to know, no, lot of work is pending. That is the switch statement. So ternary operator is the substitute of one if and one else. And this switch statement is the substitute of multiple if, else, if, else, if, else, if. Got the point? Understand it now. Switch statement. Switch. The switch statement in JavaScript. By the way, it is in Java also, C also. The switch statement in JavaScript is the shorthand or for ladder if else if. Means whenever you have multiple possibility, day equals to 1, day equals to 2, in that way you can use the switch. So technically it is the substitute for ladder if else if. How we will write it? Syntax of switch. So here switch comes with a keyword. Switch comes with a keyword that is case. Here we use one keyword that is called case. This case keyword represent the value. Like, understand, for an example, if we have to write day equals to 5, then inside switch we will write case colon 5. What we will write? Case colon 5. Inside, if you are writing if day equals to 5, but inside switch we will write case colon 5, means fifth case, whenever the value is 5. Simple. So what is the syntax? At first you will write a switch like this. Switch. Okay. Here you will write the value. Here you will not write condition. Value. Case 1. Actually, it should be case 5 colon. Case 1 means when the value is 1, statements to be executed. Then you have to write one statement, that is break. Then case 2. Again, same way, statements to be executed and break like this. Okay. So like this, your switch state works. So let's try to create it for day. Let day equals to 4. Switch Switch will be working on the value of day variable. Put the day here. Now inside this we will write its case. First case, case 1. Case 1 means the value of day is 1. In that way you will print console.log Monday and then break. I will explain why we are writing break also. Simple. Same way you will have 7 case. And here at last, we missed one thing actually. Default case. There will be one default case also. Default colon statements to be executed. Okay, like this. So inside this, now we will write case 2. Case 2 means when the value of day is 2, Tuesday, and then again break. So technically we will have 7 case. Case 3, 3 means Wednesday. Case 4, Thursday. Case 5, Friday. Case 6, Saturday. Case 7, Sunday. And then at last, default. Console.log, give input between 1 and 7. Like this. Run it. 4 means what? Thursday. Correct? 7 means Sunday. 8 means wrong input, give input between 1 to 7. That is how we write. Means no need to check the condition. Write the expected values. That we are expecting the value as 1, right? Whatever you are expecting as a value, write it as a case. Why we are using break? What is the use of break here? If the value is 8, run. Correct output. If the value is 7, Sunday, and give input between. If the value is 1, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, everything you will get. The reason is, let's say the day is 1. Switch will check case 1. Case 1 means true. So here switch will get a true and it will print the Monday. After that, it will not check anything. It will run everyone without checking because already it got a true. So after doing Monday, we have to do the break. Break means, break is a keyword in JavaScript. I will write it also. There are 2 keywords actually. One is break and one is continue. We will discuss both of them. Break is a keyword in JavaScript which stops the working of any block, generally loop and switch. It means that whenever JavaScript got one word break, it will quickly come out of the block. In whichever block compiler is running, go break it. After this, whatever code is, we will not execute it. So that's why we have to write break after every line. means if it got true on Tuesday, after that if you're not writing break, it will execute all of them, right? So like that, this is the switch statement. Checking the day name based on day number using switch. Understood? It can work for string values also, but for string values you have to write the case in quotes. Let's say if you are expecting somewhere something like this, switch alphabets, means user will give the alphabet here. So here first alphabet case A, but A is a string, so you should write it inside quotes, case A, and you can print this is the first alphabet cycle. Okay, got it? Completed. So these are your conditional statements. Question related to conditional statements that you should practice. First is leap year logic. Day name based on day number. Printing day name based on day number. Finding one largest number. Finding one largest number out of three given numbers. Finding one smallest number out of three given numbers. These are the four programs that you should practice. They are frequently asked actually. Okay. They can ask you to write the code, and you can write code by anything. If else if, ladder if else, nested if else, by using and or operator, anything. Okay, one more code. To check whether a number is even or odd. Yes, to check whether a number is even or odd. So let's try to do this program. We will check if the number is even or odd. By the way, what is the definition of even and odd? Even are divisible by 2. Divisible by 2 means their remainder will be 0. When divided by 2, you got the logic. So here I will write if number mod 2 equals to 0, console.log num plus is an even number, else console.log num plus is an odd number. Completed. Run it. Output is 23 is an odd number. 238 is an even number. Simple. Finish. Okay. Now, if we are writing it by using ternary operator, let answer equals to, condition is num mod 2 equals to 0. If this is true, number is even number. But you know one thing, here this num will be printed as a string. Then what we can use here? I want to print 238 is even number. Template literals, backtick. So here I will write this string inside backtick, dollar curly bracket, num is an even number, colon, again backtick, dollar and curly brackets, num is an odd number, and then later on you can print the answer. You can write the code in many ways. 238 is an even number. 2381 is an odd number. Got it? This is the use of ternary operator, writing the if else condition in the same line. You know, if as a developer or the senior developer, whenever we are having the code review, generally there is one thing called code review. In companies, there is something called code review. Now consider this code review as a day whenever you are having very bad day from morning. That is generally the code review day. In that, whenever we are checking the code of anyone, we can judge their knowledge, how they are writing. So whenever I am doing the code review for like my employees, so one day there was a like intern and she was writing a code, and she was writing the code like this. If there was a condition, let's say anything, if true, if true, her output was console.log, something like this. API is working. In else, when the condition was false, her output was console.log, API is working. Now I asked her that why you are writing the same statement in if and else. She replied, sir, I want this statement to work in all the condition. Means sometime you require a statement which should work every time. Then what is the use of if else here? Is there any use of if else? No use. You just directly type console.log API is working. You will get this output without if and else. You will get or not? Yes. So there are like lot of things. Then I explained that something like this, conditions are that. And if someone is writing if else in this way, means let's say API is not working, we will get to know that they have very less experience in development. If they have very high experience, then they will write like this. Let answer equals to condition ternary operator. API is working, colon API is not working. Colon API is not working. Like this, simple. One line, finish. And then at last, use this answer anywhere. If you have high experience, you know, if I am writing code for anything, I will not write if else, I will write ternary operator. Simple, one line, finish. Who will type those condition every time? Right? Like that. So it depends how you are writing the code. Got it? Now we have arrays here. Arrays and string. Wanna learn them today or not? Okay, no problem. Learn it at your ease. It should not be felt like a burden to you. So at first we will discuss about arrays. Then we will discuss about array and array methods. Array and array methods. Then we will discuss about string and string methods. Then we will discuss about loops. Guys, don't talk. And after loops, we will discuss about functions in JavaScript, synchronous and asynchronous, and then we will connect it with HTML, CSS. So this part is, I think, for the next week only. So two. Okay, fine. Going with a good speed. So these are the order in which we are going to learn the things: array and array methods, string and string methods, loops, function in JS, then other topics I will read. Okay. And that is how your conditional statement works. I hope there is no doubt in conditional statements now. Got it? Any doubt in this?